Well, hello there, my fellow friends, colleagues, and associates. It is so great to be with you again. And today is Monday, March 31st. For those of you that were not sure about that, if you're new, you'll see a QR code. Just take your phone, scan that QR code for me. I'd be so grateful. Once you do that, that'll take you to my link tree. If you have any issues getting there, you can just go to the site directly by linktr.ee/JOHNCMORLEY serial entrepreneur, SERIAL entrepreneur. And that'll get you over to my link tree. Thanks so much for stopping by today. We have a different series every week and a specific topic every day. So if you are not new and you're coming back, well, welcome back. It's great to have my wonderful, trusted, loyal friends. And hopefully some of my new people will become loyal and trusted subscribers as well, just like you guys. All right, so what are we talking about today? Because I know the issue people have been talking about all week, which is about our goals, right? And so what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that is? Yes. What is one step you can take to get closer to your goals? One step. For those of you that don't know, I am wearing the hats that we actually print in-house. Believe and achieve. What is that? As my QR code. So in order for you to achieve something, you need to believe it. That's right. In order to achieve it, you have to believe it. So I wear this pretty much all the time. And we have t-shirts as well that we'll be wearing soon. What's one step you can take to get closer? Well, if we're thinking about writing, the first step I can take to write is I could pick up a pen, turn on my computer, open up my word processing program, such as Word, etc. But what is it that gets you closer to a goal? Well, is it a thought? And I have to say, yes, it is. A thought gets you closer to your goal. Did you know that? A thought will get you closer to your goal every single time. And see, when you have a thought about your goal, you'll then have another thought about your goal. And what's going to happen next? You're going to take inspired action. Inspired action to start achieving the goals that you want to in your life. Well, why is it, John, that some people don't achieve their goals? Why is it that taking a step for someone is so hard? What's the reason? I think the reason is that enough people don't, right here, they don't believe in themselves. When you believe, you will achieve. It's science. We've said this before, right? Energy flows where your attention goes. So understanding that thought is important. What's another step? Well, maybe your goal is to call someone. So the first step that you can have to that is you can pick up your phone. The first step before that is you can have the thought to call someone. What's another step? Maybe your goal is to get your car washed. First thing you could do is get up from your desk and walk to your car. That's your first step. If you're already in your car, first step you can take is to turn into the driveway of a car wash. What if you wanted to learn how to play the piano? What's the first step you could take to learn how to play the piano? One, start learning how to read notes. If you don't know how to read notes, then you need to find someone that can teach you how to read notes. But how does reading notes work? You have to know the scales, right? You remember the scales of the one clef, right? FACE, right? Those are the spaces, and then the lines, right? So we have two to remember. If we're talking about the F clef, okay, it's going to be all cars eat gas. And the lines are girls bake dates for Anna. In the G clef, It's FACE. And the lines are, every good boy deserves fudge. So when you know the lines, you know the spaces, that's the first step that you take to be able to achieve your goal. What if you want to start a new business? What's the first step you can take? Well, you know you want to take one, so maybe you need to research that business, right? After you research the business, you learn what's involved. The next step is to maybe get a business license or maybe to form a company if you haven't done that yet. Next step might be to open a bank account, right? These are all steps that you can take. What happens next? Well, the next step is that you have to realize that you have to, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this, and I've said it before, you have to believe right here before you can achieve anything. Because the mind sets up the path for our life. It might sound a little crazy, but you know, it's the truth. It's the truth. Maybe your goal is to meditate. What's one step you could take to get closer to meditate? Close your eyes. What's one step you can take to be able to forgive someone? One step to bring you closer to forgiveness is to make the decision to forgive. The next step is to meet with that person with honesty and sincerity. What step can you take to become more intelligent? How about knowing that you're open to wanting to learn more every single day of your life? What if you wanted to have a goal in your life to become a better driver? First step might be becoming more conscious with how you drive, right? More things happening, not only in front of the car, but beside the car and behind the car. What is one thing you could do right now to become a better listener? Well, this is my favorite. They probably say listen, but how can you listen? How can you become a better listener? Well, I think listening with intention, listening with a purpose. Just like you're hearing the words right now from your computer, your headphones, or your phone, when you can notice that and understand what words I'm saying, it is then that you can actually make the choice to become a better listener. Maybe before you listen, you could say to yourself, I want to listen, and I'm going to be able to sum up what's going on in my life or what someone else is saying. These are all things you can do. They're all things you can do in your life. What if you wanted to become, one of my favorite things to do is sail. What if you want to become a sailor? What's the first thing you could do? Well, the first steps that you could take to become a sailor is you have to go get yourself a life jacket. Go buy or borrow a life jacket. Because in order to get on a boat, you need to have a life jacket. I remember when I got on my very first motorboat. And I remember this big red life jacket. And it had, you know, the typical clips and whatnot. And then I remember that I outgrew that jacket. And then I got this Omega jacket, which was really cool because it had like 2 or 3, actually 3 or 4 clips, and they just went in really easy, and you could just hit the plastic and they came out. And it was very comfortable. And the nice thing about this life jacket is it really held me up well. I remember lots of times when I would go sailing, you would take your shirt off and then you'd put the life jacket over, because if you fell in the water, you didn't want your t-shirt to get all wet. And I remember distinctly how when I was in, I think it was beginner sailing class, how the life vest felt on me, that life jacket. And knowing that if I was to fall in the water, I was good to go. But a lot of people don't have that life jacket, don't have that, I'll call it that safety net. And I think this is why they don't take the first step. It's the reason. They don't take the first step because they're afraid they're going to fall. So how do you take a step when you're afraid of falling? I think you got to have faith and you got to believe. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you got to believe right here. You got to believe right up here, right up here. Believe and achieve. I find that when you believe, it opens up the pathways in your mind, and it makes anything seem possible. What if your goal was to become I'll call it an architect? First step would be to start watching what other architects do. Of course, you're going to have to take classes, but at least it'll give you some beginning benchmarks to what an architect does and what they do in their lifetime. What step would you take to be able to become more intentional with your actions? That's a tough one. How do you become more intentional with your actions? You focus on them. You think about them and you take that deliberate action. So what's one step you can take to get rid of negative people in your life? Thank you. I recently got that question not too long ago. The step that I would take is really simple. It's really simple. The step is this. You need to realize that you're doing things for you and for no one else. Now, yes, we're all here to become better versions of myself. You heard me say that. But if someone is being negative towards you, you owe it to yourself and everyone else in the world to not let that happen. What's one step you could take to get more respect in your life? One little step you could take, start showing respect to others. If you show respect, it's a lot easier to get it. What's one thing you could do in life right now to become a person that has a better memory? Practice your memory. Use things to make it ridiculous. We've talked about this several times. But noticing how important it is to take baby steps, because a journey of 1,000,000 miles all had to start with the first step, but you can never be on the journey until you've taken the first step. And you can never become successful if you haven't taken the first step. They say you can't win the lottery if you haven't bought a ticket. Well, you can't be successful if you haven't started. You have to first start. Now, I know you might be afraid about starting, but you got to take a baby step. Then take another baby step. And once you've done that, you're going to find that taking the next set of steps is going to be really easy for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege and a pleasure to be with you today in the early evening. Be sure to like, comment, tell me what you liked about my video. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then go to my YouTube channel and type in my name, John space E space Morley space serial entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. And then make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software to give you the most jaw-dropping, inspirational, motivational content to get you off your butt and into action to achieve the desires that have been in your mind for your entire life. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I hope you remember that you have to start before you can become successful. We will see you guys all tomorrow.